who Bill Gates is, right? Bill Gates says the ends of smartphone era unveils a surprising replacement. Now this is, if we go into other articles, and I'm not going to read them, I was going to show them on the screen, but evidently I'm inept and can't run a projector. I don't know. But anyway, in another article, he tells, or his prediction. Now, Bill Gates has made 27 predictions, or no, 30 predictions that he's made in his career, and he's only missed 7. So that means he's hit 23 out of 30. So now this is his prediction. So his track record runs pretty true. If you were the type of individual that would place a wager, or maybe you'd make an investment in some company, if they made 30, if they did 30 and they only missed 7, I'd invest in that company. I mean, that's better odds than any you can get anywhere else, you know. But what he says is that by 2030, that's an important date, an important year. By 2030, smartphones will start being phased out. Won't have smartphones anymore. They'll become obsolete. And you can tell that as we're progressing with smartphones, technology is getting faster and faster and faster. And so what he says is that it will be, a bold prediction by him suggests that smartphones could soon be obsolete and replaced by an entirely new kind of technology. Forget everything you know about handheld devices. They won't be used. He said the new kind of technology will become electronic tattoos.
Yep.
Because they've become the new norm. Smartphones have been an indispensable part of our lives for over a decade, from checking emails to scrolling through social media and navigating our daily routines. These devices have shaped how we interact with the world. But Gates believes, and not only Gates, there's quite a few other high-ranking individuals that are money makers like Musk and all these other guys that are on board with this type of technology, believes that electronic tattoos developed by Chaotic Moon, who were later acquired by Accenture, as the next big leap in personal technology. Instead of holding a phone in our hands, these tattoos would allow us to communicate, access the internet, and even monitor our health without a screen inside. The key advantages, you always got to have the advantages, the pros and the cons. Problem is there's no cons because this is such a great thing. The advantages, these tattoos are integrated. There you go. These tattoos are integrated into the body. Imagine having a device embedded in your skin that lets you interact with the world through simple gestures or touch. It's sleek, unobtrusive, and possibly more intuitive than anything we've seen so far. The tattoos are powered by tiny little nanocapacitors, and they don't require bulky batteries or displays, making them far more subtle alternative to today's mobile devices. How do the tattoos work? Well, you might be wondering this. What exactly are electronic tattoos? Well, think of them as temporary skin applications. Now, any of y'all had a tattoo removed? There ain't nothing temporary about it. It takes quite a bit to get one of them things gone, even with laser. And then it leaves a scar. So there ain't nothing unpermanent about this. Okay. They use ink filled with nanocapacitors. These tattoos can communicate with surrounding devices, letting you do things like send messages, browse the web, or even unlock doors, all with a simple swipe or gesture. Now, you know they came out not just a year or two back, I think it was in Switzerland, Denmark, one of those European countries, where there was a company that had their employees and they embedded a little grain of rice-like object underneath their skin in their hand to where they could go through the plant, and instead of having a card that you had to swipe to enter doors, all you had to do was just wave your hand. Then if you went in the cafeteria, you could do the same thing because it was connected to your account, and you didn't have to scan your badge or anything. And so now they've moved from that little simple grain of rice. Now they are able to actually miniaturize these things to be able to put them through an ink gun. Now, I don't know if you've ever been around tattoos or anything, but those ink needles aren't very big. And that they put it in that ink, and then they sit there and they push it under that skin. So those things can't be very large. They've got to be microscopic, nano capacitors. I mean, how do they develop that? Where's the technology coming? Where's the intelligence to build that coming from? You ever question those ideas? Yeah. Amen. Sends message beyond communicating or beyond communication. These tattoos could also monitor vital signs, and there's a big selling point right there. Now your whole health thing, just like Star Trek. Oh yeah, you're good. You just sit there and monitor yourself. Vital signs like your heart rate, body temperature, even detect potential health issues before they become serious. There are, in essence, a health tracker and a communicator. They are definitely a tracker. Because you will permanently be marked. You're already permanently marked with a tattoo. Because as soon as you get arrested, that's the first thing they do. They take a picture of every tattoo you got. And then from now on, you're like a dog with a tag. If they, and there's cameras everywhere now. So if you go in somewhere and they go, boom, they'll lock on that tattoo. Then they'll run it through a process, and then they'll scan it, and they'll pop up, and they'll say, well, this group of people have that exact tattoo, and then you just start eliminating the process. Not hard. So you go through there, and it says they're invisible, meaning no more holding a phone or carrying bulky devices. It's seamless experience where technology becomes part of you, not something you carry. Well, now we've got the big question, privacy and security and ethics. You got those things. As exciting as this sounds, it raises some serious questions about privacy. These tattoos would collect an immense amount of personal data, you think? I mean, this thing's going around in your home. It's monitoring what you eat. It's monitoring your health. It's monitoring everything about you. It knows your age. It's going to specifically hit you with the type of advertisement. Don't think there won't be advertisement on this thing. You'll be all day going, and they're going to hit you with a specific type of advertisement. Have you signed up for Medicare, AARP? Hey, we're trying to contact you about your extended warranty. I mean, brother, you're going to be hit with everything in the world. Now, on the phone, you can throw the stupid thing down and walk away. You ain't walking away from nothing with this. That's right. Amen. Welcome to the New World Order. All right. Moreover, imagine security rest where biometric data is stored on your skin. Could someone hack into your tattoo or steal your identity? Is new and more dangerous ways. Digital security could take on a whole new meaning, as cyber criminals may look for ways to exploit this deeply integrated tech. Still, there are undeniable advantages. The tattoos will replace the need for a password. You would never need a credit card again. You wouldn't need physical keys. Listen, you would never have to worry about getting locked out of your car. You just walk up to your car, and only you could unlock it. You just go up to the ATM and scan it, and only you can get in your bank account. Isn't that nice? Man, how convenient. Isn't that? Because they sell it on convenience. You know why? People are lazy. People are lazy and they don't want to get, listen, we used to all carry cash. Then everybody went to checks. Then when you went abroad, they went to, what's his name would sell them those traveler's checks. Carl Malden, traveler's checks. Don't leave home without it, Then they came up with plastic credit cards, and now you had credit cards. Why? Because it got more convenient. Well, I don't have a pen. If I had a pen, I could have wrote a check. If I'd have had some more money, but I got this check, now I don't have to have cash. And it's just slowly been moving that direction, but I digress. Another fascinating aspect of electronic tattoos is their potential to change, now listen, how we think about health and wellness. In other words, these things will help you change the way you think about things. And if you don't think the right way, they'll just push a little button and some poison will be released out of those nanocapacitors and you'll just go. Why not? Listen, you got a bad guy out there. He's out there killing people. He's got a hostage in there. Wouldn't it be a lot simpler if you could just look up his biometrics and go, done. He just flops down on the floor. Everybody walks out. Don't you feel safer? Man, I got so cool. Hell, man, that'd be all right. Law enforcement would never have to worry about doing that no more. Yeah, listen, you don't have to worry. If you ain't going to do nothing bad, why would you complain about it? Aren't you a good citizen? Man, I got one guy, he's leaving. Not very bad. No, he's just going to battle. Anyway, now listen. The ability to monitor your heart rate, your sleep patterns, and critical health markers, all those things. But there's also the social impact to consider. These tattoos become mainstream. It could be the end of screen addiction. No, it won't. It's just now it's 24/7. But that's my opinion. Without constant distraction of staring at a smartphone screen, we might experience a more focused, less fragmented interaction in technology. This shift could fundamentally alter our social behavior and even how we relate to others. Also, this also brings up another issue, the social divide. How accessible would this technology be if only certain groups have access to it? The digital divide could become even more pronounced. In other words, people are going to go, I ain't getting that. Well, now that you start a divide. I asked some people, just some random salesmen. I don't know if these guys are saved or not. I didn't ask them anything. I said, hey, I see this article, and I showed them the article, and I said, what do you think? They go, no. I ain't doing that. And I didn't ask them why they wouldn't do it. But they said, I ain't doing that. You didn't get me to. So now we know that there's going to be a social divide. So what do you do with this division? Because the government's going to have to step in and go, hey, this is federally regulated, which phones are. You have federal regulations dealing with phones on what frequencies and what they can do and how they act and how they can interact with other equipment and blah, 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 blah. And the feds say, listen, this is going to be phased out. You're going to take this. We think it's a good thing. It'll lower your insurance. Listen, if you had something in your body that monitored your whole health thing, do you not think that the insurance companies would get on board with that and go, hey, you sign up for that and we'll lower your premium? If you don't sign up for it, you'll be like out of network and it's going to cost you more. And you're going to be penalized. You see how that works? So it's slowly in 2030 going to start to squeeze. Now my prediction was 2035. It's looking better every day. I'm hoping it's today. But there you go. So he is saying that that is the new upcoming thing. And he has a lot of what we call, the world calls smart individuals that are buying into what he said. Yeah, brother, what you got?
He's also going to take the computers and he's going to make beef and milk from computers that you don't have to go to do away with the gas from the cows. So
Well, they're already artificially manufacturing meat substitutes.
Yes. Yes.
I seen an article this morning talking about don't eat that burger, you know,
Yep.
because you go and you buy these burgers and everything in these places, and we're getting now with the technology, they're artificially manufacturing this stuff.
Yep.
So you have to be, they can artificially manufacture a steak.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like a steak. I don't know if, I may have eaten one. I don't know.
They're going to print it out on the computer.
You know, because you kind of wonder, you know, some of us are kind of cheap. You know, look, man, they got ribeye steaks over there, and at the restaurant, you go over there and eat, and they got a Saturday special. You know, go, man, I can go over and eat a steak for $7 a plate. Man, I'm gonna, you know, I'll go eat that. That's cheaper. We can cook. We can't even turn the stove on for $7. Hey, let's go over and eat. Are you really getting steak? It looks like a steak. It smells like a steak.
But it's grasshoppers.
It could be grasshoppers. It could be emulsified and then reconstituted something. Make it look fibrous and all that. Who knows?
A lot of your muffins
So you see how you get, the whole thing is funneling down to one thing. And it's funneling down to where you take away, listen, home of the free, land of the brave and all that good jazz. And I love America, and don't get me wrong. And I'll fight for America any day of the week. But I have no delusions about how the world order is going to end. Amen? And we're squeezing down to that point. And so now it's going to get, this is where it's going to get, folks, in the next 5 years. It's going to get to where you're either going to fish or you're going to cut bait. That's the terminology I grew up with. Another one I am not going to use, but that you're going to cut bait or you're going to fish. In other words, you're either going to be in or you're going to be out. Why? Because Demas forsaken me, loving this ever-present world. In other words, that's a type of the end times when Christians, supposedly, or saved individuals start bailing ship. They're not going to put up with the pressure. They're not going to put up with the budding, the rebuttal of it. They're not going to be able to stand what's going to come at them. And brother, when it comes, it's going to come like a freight train. Donald Trump ain't going to stay in office forever. J.D. Vance may not get elected. And you get a libertard in there, buddy, and buddy, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. And that's just the facts of it. That's the way it's going to be. So what we have to do is we have to understand the book, and we're here in Daniel chapter 10. Let's get back to the Bible now. But I wanted to give you that little snippet there so that you can see what we're studying is not out of date. We haven't caught up to it yet. Daniel's already talking about this stuff, what's going to happen and who's going to come in and how he's going to draw everybody to him and what all's going to happen. You see over in Israel, you keep your eye, listen, you keep your eye on socialism, social things going on in America, and you keep your eye on that Middle East. That's the two places you want to look. Forget about New York, don't matter. Forget about LA, immaterial. Forget about London. Forget about what's going on in Turkey and all this stuff they throw up in the air to give you fluff, to make you look here. Oh, there's a bus roll over here, there's this over here. Those things happen every day. You want to know what's going on? Keep your eye on the Middle East and keep your eye on what's going on around you as far as social things. New technologies, things that's coming up, new health things. Brother, they're getting out. Well, you've seen how they were with COVID. Well, how many doctors how many of y'all remember now, they said there, if you didn't take the shot, you don't deserve to get treated. How quick we forget those little things. Whoever don't take this new technology don't deserve to get service. We no longer accept cards. We don't accept Apple Pay. If you don't have this type of payment, don't come in. We won't serve it. We don't have it. I'm telling you, they're going to choke you down to where you're either going to fish or you're going to cut bait. All right, Daniel chapter 10.